Alright, so I should be live right now. Everything's going according to plan. This is Corey from Woodcraft. If you have any comments, questions, make sure to leave them in the comments section. I'm going to be reading the chat as much as I can. I got a lot to talk about today, so let's get to it. I want to show you guys Cyber Monday is tomorrow, and so there's a lot of really great deals, but I want to make sure that you're spending money wisely. And so I'm just going to go through Amazon real quick, and I'm going to show you guys some of the sales and maybe some that you should avoid. And so I'm going to show you guys that. And so basically what I did is I just went to Amazon, and in the corner here I selected the Cyber Monday deals of the week, and I'm just going to go through them one by one here. And so the first one is the Life Straw. Now I don't really like the Life Straw. I think that the Sawyer Mini is a better option because it's a lot more versatile. There's a lot more you can do with the Sawyer than you can with the Life Straw. Amazon Basics. Amazon Basics usually is pretty decent gear. It's never top of the line, but it's pretty decent. I have a lot of Amazon Basic stuff just because it's affordable, and if you're gonna take care of it, it should last you. Black Sheep, good afternoon. Welcome to the live chat. I'm just kind of going through some Cyber Monday deals to see if they're worth it or not. These camp chairs. So I have a Trekology camp chairs that are pretty much the same, and I really like the Trekology one. Caroline's actually looking into getting her own, so this might be a really good deal for her. I might actually be getting them on some Cyber Monday if the price does go down. Amazon Basics again. Usually pretty decent gear. It's never the best gear, but it'll get you by. It'll get you, especially with the hammock. There's a lot of people that love hammock camping. There's a lot of people that invest a lot into it and then determine that it's not for them. I'm one of those people that invested pretty heavy into hammock equipment and gear, but I still use my tent most of the time. It's hard to find a place that allows hammocks, and then once you do find a place, the tent is usually more comfortable, and it's a lot easier to just set up the tent than it is to find the trees and everything. And so I go back and forth. Sometimes I'm all about hammock camping, sometimes I'm all about tent camping, but yeah, just to get your feet wet, see if it's for you. It's something good to look into. You're probably going to have to upgrade if you do decide to do a lot of hammock camping, but it'll get you started. It'll get you an idea of what to expect anyway. How's it going? Welcome to the live chat. It's me again. It's not Caroline, so that's a plus. Next, the solar panel. I don't know. Solar panels they're tricky because it's hard to find. They either work or they don't. And so the ones that work usually work really well. My Anchor works really well. My Fox LE works really well. But then you have, well, here's an example right here. So I have a radio right here, and it has a solar panel on it, and it might as well not have a solar panel on it because it takes forever to charge the battery from the solar that they included, and so it's almost best just to not have it at all. And so you really have to be careful on what solar you buy. So I would research this before I looked into purchasing it. The Amazon Basics backpack's going on sale. This is the one that I used on my budget trip. I've used this backpack quite a bit actually, and I really like it. It's another one of those things where you have to take care of it. It's not gonna be robust, and it's not gonna You know, it's not going to last forever, but it is a great pack. Yeah. See, that's another thing too, is with the solar. It gets dark. Even here in Minnesota, it gets dark at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the evening. And so we don't have a lot of sunlight in the winter. And so in order to use solar, you have to wake up early and you have to make sure that you're using it. And even then, you can't really get a good charge. So, but this backpack, I want to see how much this is. Because it's a 75-liter. The green one's usually cheaper. I've been watching it, and it goes up to that $75, but I've seen it as low as $40. Yeah, $44 for a 75-liter backpack. It's not bad. It comes with a rainfly too, so you get a 75-liter backpack with the rainfly. You can see I purchased it myself, and I really like mine. I think it's a really great little pack. I don't know about the whole yeah, Michigan too. Yeah, I don't know about the black. I think the black would get too hot, and so that's why I got the green one. Plus, the green one's cheaper, so it's a win-win for all around. What do we have here? Zipped closed lid. Oh, a little trash can. See, my parents used to have one of these, I think. I don't know. Somebody I knew had one of these, and it would blow away. They're so light, and they just you're just as well off just using the bag itself rather than this thing. Yeah, see, I like the green. Yep, but yeah, it blows away, and so it really doesn't add anything to your camping experience, and it's just one more thing to forget. So I don't know. I don't think that that's worth it. A little table. I really like. I have that little packable table, that little metal one that you guys see all the time. It's just a no name. I picked it up at Walmart a long time ago. But I really like that little table. And then Caroline has that checkerboard table, and she really likes that. But that thing is huge. That thing's for like car camping only. Where the little table I really like, and I've been trying to find a duplicate of that little table. And there's a lot of companies that are similar, but they're so much bigger, you know, and they don't fit in your pack as well as the one I have. And I've never been able to really find an equal to it. And so make sure you do your research. If you're looking for a pack table, just know that I haven't been able to find one like mine. So you got to do your research, see how big it is and how well it packs down. Hats are always fun. I got my specific hats. Like I got my Wolfpack Woodcraft hat, and then I have my black Nike. That's my style. I don't really go really above and beyond from there. Again, a hammock system. This looks like it comes with a lot more accessories. This might be a better buy just to try it out again. Set up in your backyard. Make sure that you learn your knots, learn the different setups. Because yeah, I have the cinch buckles, and then I used to just tie knots, like literal knots. And so it's a good thing to just learn how to do. And then if it's something you like or something that you like investing your time into, you can invest more money into getting more upgraded stuff. Coffee pot. I don't know. I don't drink coffee. I know it's like a sin to not drink coffee, but I'm a Mountain Dew drinker. I like my Mountain Dew in the morning, and I like drinking Mountain Dew rather than coffee. I don't know. I don't like the taste of coffee, but I also don't like hot drinks in general. Yeah, if it's a hot drink, I typically don't like it. Air mattress. I'm sure this thing is humongous. It's probably more like a guest room air mattress. Campfire cooking. That's good. Thank you. I'm glad you drink the coffee. Caroline drinks a lot of coffee too. She was actually looking into getting coffee gadgets for camping to see what's good and what's not. Yeah, I like green tea. If when I do drink a hot drink, it's usually green tea. I don't really like a lot of different teas, but I really like green tea. I don't drink it when it's piping hot either, though. I mean, I let it cool down quite a bit before I drink it. Yeah, and so these easy campfire cooking, is this a, oh, it's recipes. That might be cool. Let's look at it real quick. Paperback. Yeah, that's not so bad. That might be something worth looking into. And we got a sleeping bag. Sleeping bags again are one of those things where it's hard. I've been looking into sleeping bags a lot, and I've been asking a lot of people their recommendations, and everybody says the same thing. The MMSS, the Military Module Sleep System, which I own and I have and I appreciate it. It's just so heavy. And hey, I'm just going through Cyber Monday deals, but yeah, sleeping bags. I have a hard time buying sleeping bags because there's so many of them that are just junk. You know, they're basically just to cover you up. They don't keep you warm. They don't keep you comfortable. They just exist. What torch do I recommend? Depends on what you need it for. I like Through Night. Through Night's my favorite brand. And so the T10 version 2 now, that's a really good flashlight or torch. The I don't know, anything Through Night. The TC20, if you need something that's just as bright as humanly possible, that's still packable and small. I like the TC20. I don't know, Through Night's a good brand. Yeah, I think so too. The sleeping bags, ask 10 people, you get 10 different answers. I think so too. The thing is I've had so many junk ones that, you know, like they're rated for 30 degrees, but on a 50-degree night you're cold. Like you're fine, but you're still cold. Like it's not a 30-degree bag at all. And they rip and the stuffing starts coming through the stitches and they're just junk. And I don't want to spend $300-400 on a sleeping bag, just like, because with the Military Module Sleep System you get 3 different systems. You get the -10-degree bag, the 30-degree bag, and the Gore-Tex waterproof bivy. And so you kind of get everything you need, really. But it would be nice if I could find something lighter. I have the Outdoor Vitals, which is a really good sleeping bag. I really recommend that one. I have the T&H Outdoors, which I kind of don't recommend unless you're just going to use it as a top quilt. It's a really good top quilt, but it's not a really good sleeping bag. Yeah, yeah, but I've spent $100+ on sleeping bags that aren't very good, and so I'm always leery. I never really buy sleeping bags unless I know somebody that personally has one that's personally enjoys it before I invest in it. That's why I don't have very many to test or review for you guys, because I don't like spending that kind of money on junk. Yeah. Yeah, see, I thought about that too, because I know Kelty, I like Kelty backpacks, and so I thought about investing in a Kelty sleeping bag, but again, just because they're good at one thing doesn't mean they're good at everything. So I'm gonna have to do a lot more research before I invest in another sleeping bag to review for you guys. And that's kind of where I'm at with the channel. Is I got so much stuff, and I don't know. One, I don't need anything, and then 2, I don't know what to review for you guys, and 3, I don't want to buy a piece of junk just to tell you it's a piece of junk. You know what I mean? Because then I'm stuck with it. Bivy bags. I like bivy bags. They don't. I see bivy bags as more of an emergency type use. I don't really look at it as something that I would use all the time. I have an SOL bivy. No, I don't. I have a a survival frog bivy. That's what I have. And then I have the to-go system trifecta. And the trifecta is awesome. I used to carry that thing with me everywhere I went. And I used to call it my tap out button. I've been meaning to do a video on it, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But the I look at them as more of an emergency type thing, because the more you use them, the mylar starts coming off, and they don't hold up as well to constant use, but they are extremely good for like emergency use, or like a tap out button, where if I'm just freezing and I'm cold and my sleeping bag isn't working, I can climb inside that trifecta, zip it up, and bake like a potato while I'm in there. And so I like that. I like to use them as a emergency device more than just an everyday device. Yeah, having a hood, it makes a big difference. Well, you can use the hood to hold your pillow in place, and so if you use a pillow or your sweatshirt or whatever, it holds it in place so that you don't lose it. But even using it to cover up your ears and cinching down, it's amazing how much warmer your face is. If you can keep the top of your head and your ears warm, your face seems to be warmer too. So on those really cold nights, when I'm using the hood as a pillow holder, there are times where I just ditch the pillow and cinch up, because my face is so cold, and once I cinch up and I close that up, my ears and the top of my head start warming up, my face warms up too sometimes. So alright, you have a really good day, Black Sheep. Yeah. So that it makes a really big difference. I like hoods on my sleeping bags too. Cup. I'm actually looking at a Sea to Summit collapsible cup. I had that wine glass that I put a permanent marker. I put an 8-ounce mark on it, and that rubs off instantly almost, and so I can't use that. But Sea to Summit has these collapsible cups with the measurement markings in it, so I'm looking at getting at one of those. Yeah, I try not to get cups with handles on them either, like mugs, like coffee mugs. I don't like the handles. The handles, they just seem to catch on everything. They get in the way. They take up more room than what's necessary. I try to avoid that, but this would be a good mug for at home. Let everybody know that you enjoy the outdoors when they come and have a cup of coffee with you. Luminade. I don't know. I would stick with Lucy Light. I'm going to do videos. Earlier I was talking about the Life Straw, but I'm going to try to do videos where I explain why I choose one product over another one. So I want to do a video on why I chose Sawyer products over the Life Straw. And then I want to do another one on why I choose the Lucy Light over the Illuminade, because I've had both. I got a Illuminade solar lantern. It's just like a Lucy Light. I got one in Battle Box, and I didn't care for it. It didn't hold up. It wasn't as rugged as the Lucy Light, and they're pretty much the same exact price. Yeah, the more moving parts, the more parts that can break. I don't know. I don't really need that handle. I like the butterfly handles that are come with my nesting cups that fold out of the way. Man, I don't know. I think there's a lot more better options for actual camping, backpacking. But yeah, if it's something that you're into. Car camping changes everything too. If you're just gonna pull up in a campsite and camp there, you can bring whatever you want. Like you could bring your whole kitchen if you wanted to, you know what I mean? So it's all just personal preference. I like to, even when I do car camp, I still load up my backpack. It's just a habit that I've gotten into. It helps me not forget stuff because I load my backpack up pretty much the same way all the time. And then it keeps me from bringing a whole entire kitchen. It keeps me from indulging and just bringing a bunch of stuff that I don't need. Yeah, I'm actually looking at getting one of those candle torches, those little tea candle burners. Yeah, the lantern. I'm looking at getting one. I've never had one. I've never really been a fan of flame. There's the train. I've never really been a fan of flames near my tent or anywhere near my shelters. But I don't know, because I cook in my vestibule sometimes with my alcohol stove. I'll cook in my vestibule, and I'm a lot more comfortable with it now. And so I'm looking at getting one, especially for winter, because I wonder how much those little tea lamps, those little tea candles really help heat up your tent. And so I can't speak from experience. I don't really know how well they work, but I'm definitely looking at getting one myself. Yeah. Yep. So my pack, it's always ready. I just gotta throw, because like I don't keep my sleeping bag in there because I don't want to keep it compressed, and so it's not always packed and ready. But most of my stuff's in there, and so I just have to pack what I don't keep in there. And it's just whether I'm going backpacking, whether I'm doing a camp out, a hike-in campsite, or car camping, my system is always the same. I always know exactly what I have. I always have exactly what I need. It's just easier for me to do it that way. Especially like when I'm going, like if I go to a park just for like a day hike or something, sometimes I still grab my whole camping backpack. Just one, to help stay in shape, and then two, I have everything I need so I can make videos and I can do whatever I need to do for that day. It's just a good way to keep in shape and make sure that you have everything that you need. Yeah. See, you're thinking of the ones that take those bigger candles. I think those are really cool too, but those are like the old style. I haven't found one of those yet, but hey, good morning. Yeah. I don't know. I know a lot of people that use them and a lot of people like them. I definitely think it's worth trying. I wouldn't put it in my big expensive tent at first until I get to know it. The thing is the part that concerns me is the wax. Like, where's that melted wax go? That's the thing that, I don't know. That's the part that confuses me with those. Is because, yeah, they're nice and yeah, they illuminate and they do everything. But where does the melted wax go? And that's where I want to test them out and see how they work. What do we have here? We have a pop-up bucket. Again, I don't see how these are any beneficial to anything. They're probably exactly the same as anything else, but I don't know why you would need a bucket. I don't know. Oh boy. So this, I don't know. I don't know about that. Anything that has multiple parts that come apart and get put together, I try to stay away from usually. Yeah. See, I don't know where the wax goes. So yeah, I'm planning on getting one just to find that out, just that itself out. Because that would be interesting to me. Because I don't want it dripping onto the bottom of my tent floor or inside my sleeping bag if I put it on my ridgeline of my hammock and it falls on my sleeping bag. Because I can't speak from experience, but hopefully soon I can. Yeah, this thing right here. I don't know, I'm not buying it. Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing too, is like when I have my son or the dog, if the dog, because I'll hang it just like I would my Lucy light, and if the dog bumps the edge of the tent and everything shifts. Yeah, that melted wax. I don't know. I don't know if I can trust it, especially in my personal situation with the dog, because the dog is always bumping into everything. It doesn't matter how careful I am when she's rustling about. It doesn't matter what I do. This, where's gonna pass that? I can't see that being, even on sale, I wouldn't. Anything that comes apart and you have to put together and has multiple parts that come apart and put together, I try to avoid. Not a big fan of. I started from the beginning like everybody else, so I do have a hollowed handle survival kit knife that I thought was super cool to be like Rambo. But yeah, I learned real quick that you can't trust those and they're not very reliable. So, something to keep in mind. What are these things? Stepping stones? I don't think those are camping related, but alright. There's another one of those tables. Yeah, tactical camo. Yep. This one's just black, so you can't see it at night. Don't put it down. If you put it down, it's lost forever. Yeah. A lot of moving parts. Anything that has to be put apart and put back together, there are ways to do it right, and there are ways like this where they're trying too hard. They're trying to put too much into too little, and it usually never ever works. Yeah. Yep. It can almost do everything. It's not going to accomplish anything for you, but you can at least try and pretend. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. Another table. We've talked about tables. Games, camp games. If you're car camping, that's a really good idea. Bring bigger games like that. Hammocks, we've talked about. Hats, we've talked about. Here, we'll go to the next page. I wasn't going to go this long on this, but it's a lot of really good questions. You guys seem to be interested in it, so. Kelty kettles? I don't know. I don't have any. I don't think I've ever seen any. Good folding saw and a big knife. Oh. What folding saw do you use? I use the Baco Laplander. And everybody wants me to get silky. Everyone's like silky, 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 but I always see them break. I've seen so many silkies with the tips busted off, and everybody says that you got to be very careful. As long as you're careful, you won't break it. And I don't know. I'd rather just use my Baco. Hats, chairs, bigger chairs, headlamps. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about headlamps. The old hacksaw, yeah. Sven saw. Yeah. Yeah, the Sven saw. The what is it? The Burrell 21, I think it's called. That folding saw that Joe Robinette uses. There's a lot of people that say that the handle isn't very comfortable either. I use bow saw. Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I think they trust the old Baco. There are some things that the Baco can't do, but you gotta kind of just work around it. Well, I don't know. Small one, yeah. Yeah. All right, so back to headlamps. I have mixed. I like that having my hands free. I like being able to see, but I don't like that the light only shines where my head's pointed sometimes. Sometimes I like flashlights better. When I'm walking, I like a flashlight better. I like being able to move the flashlight around. But when I'm working on something, I like the headlamp better. And that's kind of where I draw the line. If I'm working on something and I need both hands, I will use a headlamp. But for everything else, I use a flashlight. I don't like having that thing on my head. I don't like the directional light that goes with my head. I don't like shining it right into people's eyes. And so for most of what I do, I always have a flashlight. But there are some times where I need that headlamp, so I have both hands available. Yeah. Yeah, the katana boy. Yeah, that thing is ridiculous. I like flashlights more too. Yeah. Yeah, my T10, my ThruNet T10 that I EDC, I carry it all the time. When I first got it, one of the benefits to it is that you can clip it to your hat, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And I've never used it. I've never clipped it to my hat. Yep. Yep. See, if I have a project that I'm working on, that's when I use it. And so then, I like the brighter ones too. Sometimes, well, I don't know. It depends. Sometimes, because I have the that ThruNet headlamp, it's like 1,000 lumens. Sometimes that's too bright because it shines. Like if I'm working with my knife, you know, it shines off my blade and it reflects off and gets into my eyes, and sometimes it's too bright. But yeah, I don't know. Something about a headlamp. Having light with two hands is always a plus, but I like flashlights, I guess. What do we have here? An espresso machine. Again, I don't drink that much coffee. Caroline does. She's looking at getting a bunch of different outdoor coffee things, seeing which ones actually work the best. 400 lumens. That even gets. I was looking, and because like 400 lumens, a lot of people don't think that's a lot of lumens. But remember, like a long time ago, those big flashlight, those cop flashlights, those mag lights that were huge. And you'd see them in movies all the time. They'd tap it on your window to roll your window down. There was like these super beast mag lights, these flashlights. They were only like 100 lumens, like in like the 70s and the early 80s. So like you always see them. And yeah, the mag lights. They were only like 100 lumens, and those things were like the brightest thing ever. And everybody complained about how bright, and everybody showed off their big, huge mag lights. And so now for 400 lumens, you know, we're like, yeah, that's pretty decent. Where back then 100 lumens was like, holy moly. Yeah, they were heavy, super heavy. My dad had one of those, I think. And yeah, I think it was my dad. It was either my dad or my uncle. But I remember carrying that thing around, and it was like a baseball bat. You know, I was young, and so for me it was like a little baseball bat. Yeah, little mini sun. Yep. Yeah, the loud, intimidating click. Click, click. It's a different world back then. Now everybody wants small, concealed. Or back then everybody wanted big and flashy, and they wanted to show off what they had. Yeah, it's a different thing. You lost your Leatherman and EDC light? That's not good. That's an expensive replacement there. Do you keep your Leatherman in a sheath, or do you keep it in your pocket? Because I used to carry my sheath and everything in my sheath, but it's so easy for stuff to fall out and you not know it. And that's why I use the pocket clip now, is because you can feel it when it's in your pocket. Or when it's in the sheath, you really can't feel it. Here's a nice little folding campfire grill. How big is the medium one? Of course it doesn't have measurements. Doesn't seem too bad. I hate when they have the same pictures. So like you got the extra large and you look at, oh, that looks like a decent size, but then you go to the medium and they have the exact same picture, so which one's which? You know what I mean? They should switch it up. Yeah, it seems like a good deal though. Bag, hammock, dog bowls. My dog, I have those Sea to Summit collapsible bowls that I use for dog bowls when we go out. Well, I used to use them. And the dog just knocks them over, collapses them, and then you have food everywhere and you have water everywhere. Skeletal and a Phoenix pen light. Yeah. Yeah, that's a big thing. I do that with my Carhartt bibs sometimes. Because they have the pockets, or you can sneak through and get to your regular pockets. And then I have them fall. I found change and stuff in my boots from missing. Measured in bacons. Yeah. Yeah, they should have some sort of a standard when it comes to grill grates, you know, because like most rings are 3 feet circles, so they could even do like a half grate, full grate for a 3-foot circle, just so that everything's the same, you know what I mean? But they don't, and they probably never will. Water filters? I don't know, I get nervous with water filters. I've used a I don't even know what it was. It was like this cheap knockoff filter. And I used it and I got cryptosporidium. That's not fun. I did not enjoy that at all. Yeah, it's almost lunchtime. Yeah, I'm getting hungry too. Right after this is lunchtime, so that's why I'll be live for like another 20 minutes and then I'll be in a hurry to get off so I can eat some dinner, eat some lunch. Yeah, I don't really like them that much either. Telescope. I don't have any experience with telescopes. Yeah, the water filter though, you got to be real careful. Again, it's one of those things where I like to know somebody that has one, and like, or like Sawyer or the Life Straws that are like highly reviewed. There's a lot of reviews on them, and so those I would trust either one of those. But yeah, I've gotten cryptosporidium, and so now I got a real trust issue when it comes to water filters that I've never heard of. Yeah, I like the Sawyer Squeeze and the Sawyer Mini. I kind of like the I don't know. I started with the Mini. I liked the Mini, and then I got the Squeeze because everyone says it has a better flow rate and it's such a better system. And it does have a better flow rate. It's almost twice as fast as the Mini. It's twice the size too, and so I kind of go back and forth still. Sometimes I bring the Sawyer Mini, sometimes I bring the Squeeze, but I kind of am noticing that I'm bringing the Squeeze every chance I get. Anytime space is not an issue, I bring the Squeeze. I like the bigger pouches too. The bigger, because my Squeeze came with a 32-ounce pouch, where my Mini came with a 16-ounce pouch, and I like this. I like the Mini with the smaller pouch and the smaller everything. It just took up no space. But you can only fill those pouches about half full. And after that, it's hard to get any more water in them. And so that 16 ounce is kind of more like an 8 ounce. And where the 32 is like a 16 ounce. And so you can get a lot more. It's a lot faster with the squeeze because if the flow rate's twice as fast. Plus, with the bigger bag, you're getting twice as much fluid, and so the whole system is just a lot better. Using the 32-ounce bag on the mini, I thought might increase the flow rate too because there's a lot more pressure behind it, and it didn't. It's exactly the same. So I don't ever bring the 16-ounce bag anymore. I always bring the 32-ounce bag, and then I usually bring the squeeze over the mini, but I still use the mini. Yeah, boiling is the best, but again, I don't like hot drinks. And so that's why I prefer filtering, is because I can take out of the nice cold, especially on them really hot days, taking that nice cold river water or lake water and just drinking it cold, it's way more refreshing than boiling, let it sit out in the hot sun or even in the shade. It's still warm. So it fulfills your thirst, but it doesn't quench your thirst, you know. You like the screw on one? Yeah, I have a Berkey water bottle that I use sometimes. Well, I used to use it. I don't really use it at all anymore. But yeah, I have a Berkey water bottle filter system that I really like. Yeah. Yeah. See, I'm not a big hot drinker. There are times where you have to boil. Like during the winter, I have to boil. But again, it's cold, so the hotter liquid's better because it helps keep me warm. Because you can't, if you bring a water filter out, even now, when it's only, the highs are only like 20 degrees. And so it'll freeze and it'll break. So I can't bring a water filter with me, and so I have to boil. But it's cold outside, so the warmer fluid actually, I prefer it. And so I'm kind of lucky that way. Being in Minnesota with the 10,000 lakes and all the rivers and streams and everything, I'm never too far from water. And so I have the Sawyer filter so that I can drink cold fluids on a hot day. And then in the winter, I can boil snow or boil water and have hot on a cold day. So I usually win either way. Yeah, I like my Berkey. Sunny in San Diego. Yeah, we don't get that. Yeah, the highs are like 20 degrees. It's only November, so January we'll have highs of 0 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll have highs of -10. It gets cold here in Minnesota. It's a land of fire and ice. We'll have 3-digit heat in the summer and -30, 40, 50 degree winters. You gotta appreciate both if you want to live here. Alright, somebody asked me what this bottom right corner thing was. This is a foldable propane campfire. So I've seen these too, where you just hook them up to propane and it's a campfire that you don't have to feed wood or anything into. The Nomadic Fanatic has one. If you ever watch his channel, he lives in his RV and he chases 70-degree weather, and he starts from like North, South Dakota, Minnesota up here, and then he heads south as soon as it starts getting cold, and then he heads back up when it starts getting too hot. Yeah, our snow, it's we haven't gotten a lot of snow here yet. It's supposed to be a heavy winter with lots of snow and freezing temperatures, but we haven't gotten a lot of snow yet. 6 inches of snow isn't that bad. That's kind of like my favorite, when you have enough to just cover everything. Everything is white, but it's not so deep that people are getting stuck, or you know, post holing everywhere you walk. Like 6 inches is it's a good amount. In Slab City, yeah. Hey, prep for it. Welcome to the live stream. Yeah, it's according to the Farmer's Almanac, it's supposed to be a heavy winter this year. Cups, wipes, illuminate. So this is all a bunch of the same stuff. First aid kit. Pack towels. I really like pack towels. I know a lot of people don't carry pack towels. They think that's just excessive, and they don't. I really, really like I had the Country Line send me those pack towels, and then I bought more because they're really good. I really like having them. The thing with these microfiber towels though is they absorb the water. They're really absorbent, but they don't slide across your skin very well. So you gotta like dab dry. But for how small they are, they pack up really easy. They dry really quick. They dry me off really quick. Plus them as themselves dry really quick, so you can reuse them again. I really like pack towels. So that's something that I enjoy. A lot of people don't like them. I love them. Oh, they don't though. Like the cotton towels that you have in your bathroom that just slide and you just kind of dry off. They're not like that. They get real sticky when they get wet. Bandana kind of guy. Yeah, those work too. I don't know. I like the towels. Yeah, pack towels. That's the way to go. The bandana, because I've used bandanas and shamags before to dry off, and the thing is once they get wet, they stop drying you off. Like you get like half of your body dry, and then they're just saturated, and then the rest of you is still wet. So because I like to jump in the lake, and it's not for sweat I use a bandana. For stuff like that, a bandana is great. But I like to jump in the river, and I like to jump in the lakes. Because again, we're land of 10,000 lakes. We swim a lot, and so to dry off with the bandana or shamag, it just can't keep up with that. I'm a hippie. There's nothing wrong with being a hippie. So yeah, let me talk to you guys. Oh, my camera turned off. I didn't even realize it. Didn't even realize my camera turned off. Turn that back on. This is why I don't use this camera. Ooh, this doesn't look that great. There it is. So if you look at this camera that I'm using right now, this is the camera that's on my laptop. And then you go do this camera. So alright, watch the transformation now. So we're going to go from the camera on my laptop. Look at the difference that makes. This looks so much nicer. This is the T5i. So much better. I like the angle. I wish that I could get this camera like right here so that I could stare at you guys while I'm on the computer, but I kind of like this angle too because I can just stop and talk to you guys. Yeah, that's the microfiber towels. They seem to like, I've never found a bad one. Like I've never found one that doesn't work. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I really like those packable towels. Budget. Yep. Yeah, it's good to find deals. Save that money. it's hard sometimes. Like, there's one of the things that I want to talk to you guys about is you see all these gear reviewers, like you watch Prepared Mind 101, and he does all those knife reviews, and you're like, I could do that. Like a bunch of companies just send me knives and just review them, and I could do that. But then I have like this Condor right here, and I've had this for quite a long time actually, and I mean to do a review on it, but the problem is every time I bring this with me, I wish it was this. I wish it was my Genesis. I can't put, because I love this knife. This is my favorite knife. If I could have just one, this would probably be the one that I keep. And you can tell they're very similar. But when it comes to the Genesis, I like the sheath better on the Genesis. I like that it has the ferro rod pouch. I like the handle better. I like the blade better. I like this is way easier to sharpen. Like it's just so much better. So every time I use it, I wish it was this, but that's not fair because this is like $160 and this is like 40 or 50. And so it's not a fair comparison. And it's hard to not, completely put this aside like it doesn't exist to review this. I like this knife too though. If I never had a Genesis, I would really, this would probably be my favorite knife. I'd get a different sheath for it though. Yeah, nope. The camera turned off. This camera turns off after 30 minutes. I lost track of time. I didn't realize it was so late. But yeah, 30 minutes turns off and there's nothing I can do about it. And so that's why I have the backup camera. So like this, it's the other thing with my laptop camera is it's on the bottom left corner. And so like the top of my screens here where like most cameras are, they're on the top here. Mine's on the bottom left corner. And so it just makes that angle even worse. You know what I mean? Where this is a lot nicer. I like the color better. I like everything about it is better. My stomach's growling. It's almost lunchtime. It's past lunchtime. But yeah, it's hard to put my differences aside to review each knife individually. I just did a good knife review. Alright, I'll see you guys later. A lot of people are going back to eat. That's what I gotta do. I gotta eat soon. About like 5 more minutes and then I gotta get out of here. Yeah, This is the Condor Bush Lore. I like this knife. And then this is the LT Wright Genesis. This is the Larry Roberts edition with the mouse on it. Yeah, and then I think that's what I'm gonna do from this point forward. Speaking of good knife review, I think I'm gonna do comparisons. Because that's like originally what I wanted to do, but I think I'm going to try to do that more often. Because like with this knife, this is a really, really good knife, but it's hard for me to say, this is a great knife, you should get it, when I love this is my favorite knife. This is like the best knife ever. And so if I compare them and I show you the differences, I think you will get a better idea of why I can recommend this one but still have this one as my favorite. And so I think that's how I'm going to do things from now on. I'm going to try to compare differences. I'm going to try to buy the same of my favorite stuff and then compare it. Just like this radio. I got this new radio. And I have only had it for a little while, but I really, really like it. And I have another, this is a crank radio. So you charge it up by cranking it. And I have another one that I hate. I don't like it at all. And a lot of people recommend it. And so I'm going to do a comparison. I'm going to compare this one with the other one. and show you guys why I like this one over that one. And you know, because even though it's a highly recommended radio, I don't like it, and I feel this is far superior. And so I'll let you guys be the decider of what's good and what's not. Yep, I like this one. This is a really, really good one. It actually works really, really well. It's got the weather band.
At the Twin Cities, 26 at Rochester.
I wanted to point at the camera, but the microphone's by me.
Prairie. Under cloudy skies, Elbow Lake reported 13, Brainerd reported 18, and International Falls reported 15.
Yep. It's good radio. It's good emergency radio. I really like it. Little Red Cross one. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. It's a good little camera or a radio. I got my camera here too. I was looking at that. Staring at my camera trying to talk about radios. Yeah, I'm gonna do that from now on. I'm gonna try to have two instead of reviewing one thing at a time. I'm gonna try to always have two, and so then that way. Another thing is it helps me, because like I can tell you all the good things about this knife and then forget about the bad things. Where if I'm telling you the good things about this knife, then I can show you how this one's not as good. And when I'm showing you the pros on this one, I can show you how the pros aren't as good in this one, you know. So even though this is a great knife and it's my favorite knife, it's obviously not perfect. There are some things where this is better than this. And so I think you'll get a much better idea of the pros and the cons and the cost and everything about a product if I compare them instead of just showing them to you. Solar powered radios, yeah. This is solar power. This has a little solar thing that moves around so that you can get it in the way of the sun. It says in the instructions though not to use it. You can see the lines. See the lines on my face? It's because my blinds are right there. Yeah, see I like, because this one, I'll save it for the review. Give you a full review and then have a video on a review. You're gonna have to subscribe and so you don't miss it. Hit that little bell so that you don't miss it. Because yeah, I'm gonna compare this because the other one is littler, it's smaller, and I see a lot of people that say how great and wonderful that little radio is, and I'm not a fan of it. Yeah, winding it up during commercials, I like to do that too. I'll just because I leave it just sitting here, right? So my computer and everything. So I'll be editing videos or I'll be doing something and then I'll just crank it just out of boredom. So I like to keep it around just so that I can crank it up, listen to it. You know, if I'm editing and I just see it, I can listen to the weather or listen to the radio or just kind of play with it a little bit. And that's how I test a lot of my stuff. Same with my knives, just sitting here. You know, when they're sitting here, I'll look at them and I'll play with them and I'll do what I need to do to see what I like and what I don't like about them. They don't have AM FM anymore? It's crazy. There's a lot of weird things going on in Europe. That Article 13 has got everybody in a fuss. It is scary though. If that element or if that Article 13 does pass, there's going to be a lot of censorship. Just because everything I did right now I wouldn't be able to post in Europe because I have a website that I have no ownership of on this stream, and so scary. But I suppose that's lunchtime. I can hear my son and Caroline. They're getting hungry. So I will talk to you guys again real soon. Make sure to leave any knowledge or questions in that comment section. Make sure to check the links in the description box below for all your Cyber Monday shopping. Hopefully going through some ideas gave you guys an ability to see what you like and what not to waste your money on, even though it is a saving. It's typically doesn't mean it's less money, doesn't mean that you're saving. Remember, keep that in mind tomorrow for Cyber Monday, and I can't wait to see you guys on the next one. I really appreciate you all for stopping by. I appreciate all the comments, all the support. You guys really truly mean a lot to me, and I can't thank you enough. So thank you all so much.